Before we dive into our rad new ep, we want to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we record, the Wurundjeri people. We pay our respect to elders past and present, and to the ongoing living culture of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. What is up, and welcome to Girls Gotta Work podcast. I'm Jordan, and I'm a total hot mess, more so this week than usual.
And I'm Hayleigh, a recovering awkward person.
And we are living proof that you can be a chaotic 20-something and still be a successful business owner. So go grab a coffee, kick your feet up, and come hang out as we share the rad, the bad, and the mad reality of running a business. So, Hayleigh, we've got something exciting today.
So guys, we're doing something super exciting. We haven't really told you. We've been teasing it a little bit.
Building the suspense.
Yes. So today we have our first guest on the podcast.
I am so excited. We've wanted to do this for such a long time. And our guest today is someone that we have both sort of kind of worked with, but not really worked with. And I am so excited to have her on. So Hayleigh, would you like to introduce our very first guest to Girls Gotta Work?
We have the amazing Liv from Visual.
Woohoo.
Yeah, like Jordan said, we're friends. We're online friends because Jordan and I are in Melbourne and Liv is in Queensland. But we have like a funny connection. We all worked on a project mid to late last year,
yeah.
where we like, some of us got to talk and some of us didn't get to talk. So we knew each other, but we didn't really know each other. But turns out we all had the exact same experience with that client, which was awful.
Yeah.
And here we are, online friends. So
yeah. And what is that? Like you bond through the difficult times in life. So that's exactly what we've done. Bonded through the difficult times in business.
Bonded through the trauma.
Yeah.
So we are so excited to have you on the podcast as our first guest. And we thought you would be the perfect representation of what we are, what Girls Gotta Work is about. So we're going to jump into some amazing questions.
Yeah. So welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. And it's so funny that like we're Zooming now together, Jordan, because I feel like we know each other through that amazing project that we connected on.
It was just so much fun.
Isn't that like such a summary of like working in the digital world? So I'm so happy to be here. I love the pod. Love you ladies. So cool.
Well, we absolutely reciprocate the feeling. So to get us started and tell everyone sort of what you do, we want to ask you, how would you explain what you do, what your business is to your nan, to your pa, to anyone who sort of has absolutely no experience in the digital world?
Sure. So it's funny. I do have these conversations with my nana and pop. So I explain my company Visual as like the behind the scenes helper for everything digital. And then they go, what? What does that mean?
They pull their glasses down and they're like, explain more, please.
Yeah, exactly. And I say to them, like, you know, when you're at the newspaper and you see ads for companies and different things that obviously still exist, but there's another format which is online, advertising and the different like marketing components that go with doing that same foundational thing, but we've picked it up and moved it online. And then they go, wow, that's amazing. And then they just ask a million questions. Yeah.
What's like the dumbest question? Not dumbest, but like to you, you're like, oh my God, come on, guys.
The like most basic of basic to like non-digital natives.
Oh, definitely my grandparents have asked this. They're like in their mid to late 80s. So like a whole entire different generation.
Yeah.
I obviously love them to death, but
yeah.
I've been asked, so how do you get paid doing this? Like I pay myself up. I'm my own boss.
Like where does the money come from?
Yeah. And do you know about tax? Is a question. Which I'm not gonna lie, that whole side of business took a while to like confidently say, yeah, I know about tax. But yeah.
Hey Siri, what's tax? Like I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, it's like that episode of Schitt's Creek. You guys absolutely will know what I'm talking about, right? Where David do. It's the tax, you know, like the what does he say? He's like,
we just
it's a
write off. You just write it off.
It's write it off. But who writes it off? I don't know, the government.
That was me for a little while. Certainly not anymore, but yeah.
I'm still a little bit in that camp. That's why I outsource all of that stuff, because I pretend to be confident about it, but I'm like, numbers, tax, who the fuck knows?
I know.
So you are doing so well in that. that department.
So to the non-nanas and pops out there, how would you succinctly explain visual to people?
Yes, this is like my jam, not the other version of, of what do you do. So Visual is an end-to-end marketing agency. So what that is basically meeting companies, small to medium-sized businesses typically, meeting them in their journey, no matter where that is, in their marketing, sales, even just like their business structure. So meeting them wherever they're at and just taking them on a big holistic marketing journey. I talk a lot about holistic marketing because I think personally that's the only way to do it. I just believe so strongly that there's not one thing that would ever possibly fix your social media or your website or whatever.
Yes.
So my company partners with some amazing brands and we just take them on a journey. So we do things like web development, social media, content creation, a lot of like strategic digital marketing plans. And then a lot of the time we actually like help the client execute the strategy. We do all sorts of like fun print media work. I have to say something.
Yes, tell us.
This was kind of like, I don't know, like a pinch me moment, I guess.
Yes, tell us.
I designed a coffee van car wrap.
That's so cool.
It was actually really funny because everything up until that point, other than like my own business cards, which you get over your own branding pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Up until that point, everything I'd ever made had been online. And, you know, you get really excited about seeing like a website go live and all of that. But it was a van, like a fucking van. I was like, oh my God. It was just it was like such a pinch me moment. And like just to see it, like obviously like the design blown up on this this like coffee van. It was really cool.
And then like a coffee van that like real people that aren't online are going to see, like whether they're walking their dog or getting their coffee, real people are going to see it in the real world. And I think we all work in digital, so we get used to, you know, sure, there's faces behind the screen, but they all feel like numbers.
PDFs.
Exactly. It's amazing. That's so cool.
I really like the holistic side of it and just explaining it that way, because that's so true. Like Jordan and I talk about this all the time in our industries, that like one size does not fit all. You can't just rely on one form of like marketing than the other. So I really like that approach of holistic marketing. So that's exciting. I love that.
I love it.
Too.
Nice.
So we're going to dive into some of the more meaty stuff about business. So the title of this episode, we're going with starting a business solo. So tell us a bit about that. What was the pull towards starting a business? And I know for others out there, solo is really scary, but we kind of mean it in a sense that you might not have had influences from the outside world. Like Jordan has talked about how her parents are business owners, and that was like her first taste of business ownership. For me, I felt like I was more born with entrepreneurship, but business was really scary and I kind of fell into it. So did you have any of those kind of influences? Like how, why? Tell us all the things.
Oh my gosh. So no, I never.
In the shot, no.
Yeah,
that's it. That's the episode done. Cut.
My lovely parents, they never owned businesses. They they never influenced me in that sort of way, kind of like your family, Jordan, totally different to that. My inner circle at the time of like just before starting the business was quite like serial entrepreneurship, and I was like, that's just not sustainable, and it kind of felt icky to me.
Interesting.
So by serial entrepreneurship, do you just mean like you have one business and then you move to the next and the next, like you're constantly creating the next big thing? Is that sort of what you mean by serial entrepreneurship?
Yeah, exactly what I mean. And like the group of people that I sort of surrounded myself with at that time in my full-time job was very much, like let's find a problem and let's solve it, which is really amazing. Like that is such a strong, like that's a strength of being a business owner. But then there was like the lack of follow through. 100% honest, business seemed so icky to me. I never read a business book. I never felt like, you know what, I really want to be a business owner. I want to be my own boss. I want to have the thing to myself. Never. So it's so funny that now I am.
And you're you're a boss too, like you have like staff as well, so that's really interesting to hear that's not how you felt.
That it was almost the opposite. You were like, I absolutely do not want to do
repel.
And I say to myself all the time, like you got to be so grateful for those like crappy experiences, or just not even the crappy experiences, but like just seeing other walks of life in their natural habitat sometimes. And I'm like, oh, that is just it's not me. And it got to a point where I was working in the marketing industry, and it got to the point where I was like, man, I know so much.
Yeah.
I'm loving what I'm doing. I feel like I'm pretty good at it. Like I'm helping these other people like just excel and like get seen on these giant stages like globally. But there was just like limitations, and like some of them were from the company that I worked for, like just, you know, financial limitations, or a lot of people just got to the point at that place where they were like, no, I'm really happy with where we're at. Let's keep here forever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, like,
what are you doing?
Don't box me in like this.
Totally. And I'm like, we're here now, and we've only done like, I feel like we've only given like 50%. And if we give more, like, can you imagine where we could go? So anyway, I sort of had, I won't say it definitely wasn't a negative experience at all, but I had a very, what's the word? Like,
you sort of learn from it, I suppose. Like you learned what you, like, you don't want to just give 50%. You want to give 100%, 110, 20, 50%, like maybe
totally. Yeah. And I think I had in my head that business was those people and how they acted and what they did, and that's just not true, obviously.
Oh God, no.
So that was kind of my business upbringing, which was a little bit weird. And then I've spoken on some other podcasts, and lots of my followers know that I started the business with a business partner. And
interesting.
Maybe have me on for another podcast and we can go all into that, because that's such a whole story, but so valuable, and seriously like one that was such a journey that I didn't have any podcast to listen to. There was just no information out there, because everyone, for some reason, a female business owner buying a male's like shares of a business is so taboo and weird, and you're greedy. And have me back on, please.
But also, like, fuck those people for thinking that women are the best. We can do it. Whatever we want.
Absolutely. Yeah, Pop, I pay myself.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. So I started the business with a business partner, and it was seriously, there's no like big like romanticized version of how we started. It was just, hey, you're really good at what you do. Me, oh, thanks. Yeah, I really like it. Would you want to start a business doing it together?
Okay.
Yes, literally over chicken wings and beer. Like it was such a it's not a like fantastic story, but like I no longer have a business partner, and the journey from like year one when we parted ways to now, like we're just over 2 years old now. This second year has just been like, now I feel like I know why those serial business owners feel that way, because it is just like, oh, like my whole body is smiling. Like it's just like such an amazing thing, and like to be able to do what you want for so many more people than you can do when you're just employed to one is it's so amazing. That's kind of the journey. And like earlier I was laughing about like tax and stuff. Oh my God. I had no idea that like my dad is probably the smartest person in Australia. Like he's so smart. He's super knowledgeable. He's a lawyer. He just knows so much stuff. He's a business mentor for other people. And I kind of, I knew what he did, but I didn't know what he did. So when I started Visual, there were a lot of conversations that came up where he was like, like just make sure you're keeping your receipts, and like you're obviously, you're charging GST and this. And I'm like,
no.
Rewind. Like,
let me get my notepad out, please. I just need it. Sorry, what was that about GST? What's all that about?
So that's an acronym, right? Interesting. Can you reproduce? It's like
I just forgot. Like I can't quite remember what the G
stands for.
The S.
Literally.
I don't
it's like
think
that
I can
episode.
tell you now. Like I don't think I can
Goods and services tax. Thanks, David.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's like the episode of The Office where Michael Scott's like, a surplus. Interesting. Now, could you explain to me, like, if I was a 5-year-old? Interesting. Now, maybe explain it to me like I'm less than a 5-year-old. so many things.
You're in good company because Jordan and I are the same, like money stuff. We're like, oh, I'm scared. Like, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
We
That's
just
the
both registered.
journey.
Yeah, we both just registered for GST for this year.
Yeah.
And we're both like,
Nice.
when are we meant to like pay for that? Like, but but in saying that, we're good business people, guys. We've got really good accountants and bookkeepers who are doing it for us. That's why we are unaware.
Yes.
We will educate ourselves when we're ready.
Yeah, maybe.
It's so crazy because, like, I don't know. I didn't go to university for business or anything like that. And I'm thinking to myself, like, even now, I think, does anybody know this stuff? Or does everybody start like this? Or, you know, like how we started.
Yeah.
And we're just finding our way. Because where do people, like, how do you know? Like, who tells you? And then you have, you know, you might have an experience with like a dodgy accountant or different like business professionals who are meant to help you. And you think, oh my God, this is just such a crazy world. Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. And I think you really touched on there, like finding the right help that fits with you as well. And like, if you have an accountant or let's go accountant because we're talking about taxes that makes you feel silly and, you know, that you can't go to and that doesn't explain anything. And it's like, that makes you feel like a worse business owner. So it's definitely getting the right help as well.
Totally. And that's like, I think, I guess on a personal note, like this year, it feels as like all of the stars have kind of aligned in that sense. Like my team are just absolutely incredible. Like I feel like they bring out the best in me. I bring out the best in them. The business support, like the accountants, the lawyers, the business coaches, like I don't know if everybody gets lucky. I think I'm quite lucky with that because I've just experienced like one end to the other of business. And now I've just got like the best circle of people, honestly, led by my dad. I got to tell him to listen to this because like the amount of times where I'm like sitting in the home office, like stressing because, oh, hey, income tax is a thing. And hey, you haven't saved any money for it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. And then, you know, dad to the rescue and it's this help and like all of this like non-judgmental advice and like the support and everything. So I do feel really lucky with like my circle of people.
That's so important too. Like just what is it, like you become the 5 people you surround yourself with the most, and I think having the right people around you is so important and powerful. But I think Liv, I think there is always, I think, a sprinkle of luck in everything, but you were doing that, like you were the driving force. And I think now, like listening to your story and getting to hear that you were, you know, had a business partner and obviously it wasn't the right fit, and yes, I definitely want to talk about that another day because I want all the juicy stuff. But like by the sounds of it, this last year you've really got to flourish into your own and like figure out what business ownership means to you, especially for someone who didn't know what that meant 5 years ago to you. Like you said, it wasn't something that was ever on your radar until it was on your radar. So, you know, maybe the training wheels are off and now you're like, fuck it, I can do whatever I want. Like I'm gonna do it.
Training wheels are off and I'm like sprinting.
It's like you're riding down the steepest hill in Australia, just like, all right, go.
You're on a bike with no helmet, no brakes, going for it. Like
just crossing your fingers, hoping it all works out. Yeah, amazing. All right, so I think diving a bit more into sort of your story and how, you know, Visual came to be, I would love to know, obviously on Girls Gotta Work, we cover the right, the bad, the mad, all of the roller coasters, the great things that we've just been speaking about and the challenges. So I suppose like if you were to start again, you know, think back to when you were in, you know, that corporate job, you know, surrounded by all these other people and then were approached by your business partner to say, hey, you know, how about it? Like, let's give it a crack. Is there anything you would change about your journey? Anything you'd do differently? Would you have started sooner? Would you have started later? Like, is there anything you would change?
I'm going to be super cliche and boring and say no.
No sliding door moment. Like, oh God,
I wouldn't. And I'll tell you why. My personal journey, and I'm going to cry or get like emotional, but my personal growth has been like, I never in my whole life thought I would have such like personal growth. And like looking back to 1 year ago or 3 years ago, it's like a different person. And
Wow.
it's crazy because all of these like hard things, like hard business decisions, hard confidence things, like you gotta let someone go, you've got to work out like if you're going to pay yourself 1 week or not, like these really like kind of confronting things, like they've just given me like the best, I don't even know how to explain it, like I feel like I've just got like this shield or like this jacket of like girl boss protection. And knowing that I did that for myself is so cool. And if I started the business solo, or if I like studied business at uni, or if I did anything that would like, I don't know, I don't think I'd love who I am right now. And I totally love who I am right now. And it's only because of all those things. Yeah,
it's like you can't even imagine what that looks like. So that, I think that is really powerful, that you like not being able to visualize what it could look like in a different scenario. It means that you're definitely in the right place and that feels right for you. And even if it isn't, and people, other influencers like, oh, but you know, imagine if this happened, like, well, fuck that. Like, I'm so strong in how I feel now that it, even if it did, it doesn't matter. Like,
do you want to know my motto? And I've been telling like everybody who wants to listen.
Well, we want to listen. Tell us.
We want to listen. Our listeners want to listen. We're listening. Tell us.
And yes, okay. So the motto is, I want to live for the oh wells rather than the what ifs. Because
chills.
Yeah, chills.
I did, like, literally, I just got goosebumps as you said.
Yeah, and personally, that resonates like an insane amount. Like, I am like Hayleigh. We've worked together like on a couple more projects than that first one that the three of us did. Like, you would have a decent understanding of like that I'm a bit of a goody two shoes, A1 straight, like, oh yeah, like just, but like too much that way. Yeah. So like I'm avoiding trying to make mistakes. I'm trying to like skate around the negatives. But yeah, this year, and like genuinely quite recently this year, I've just gone, you know what? I'm craving these mistakes, not recklessly or anything, but like I'm totally craving the oh wells, because what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And it's just like, I don't want to deal with what ifs. I just want to deal with oh wells. And half of the time the oh wells are, fuck yeah, it's not oh wells.
Yeah.
That is like so powerful. That's such a powerful message and powerful like mantra.
That's new.
I feel like your drag queens would say mantra.
Yeah. Mantra, darling.
Mantra, darling. Yeah, that is such a powerful saying. And I'm kind of the same. I've been really leaning into like telling myself what I need to hear to really push myself through to the like next phase of my business, and not let like, the demons in, and really be powerful about and intentional about what I'm saying. So I think hearing you say that is just like powerful amazingness. I'm like inspired now.
And I think because it does come down to like being intentional about the vibes you're putting out into the universe as well. Because if you are, and Liv, like I'm exactly the same. I'm very much like goody two shoes, want to do right by everyone. Like sorry is my like number one most used word, which like I'm working on. But it's like you want to be intentional about what you're putting out into the universe, because if you're constantly like, no, I'll just hold myself back and, you know, not worry anyone, then you're not actually challenging yourself, and you're putting out into the universe that that's who you are, rather than, nah, fuck it, throw shit at me, see what I can handle and see how I can grow from there. So yeah, I love it. That's amazing.
So, Liv, you are the first person, obviously we've said this a few times, that you're the first person on our podcast that we are interviewing. And we want to end every episode with asking you a couple of rapid fire questions that obviously relate to Girls Gotta Work. So,
drum roll, please.
Drum roll, please.
Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah, I can't roll my tongue either. What is the raddest part of running your own business?
The raddest part of running my own business is the people that I get to, or the people that I've like opened my world to, that I absolutely would never have opened my world to without being a business owner.
That's lovely. What is the baddest part of running your own business? Is it taxes?
Okay, when you say bad, are you talking like shit, like hate
negative.
this, or like bad girl Riri?
I love that.
Can we do both? I think I'm up for both.
I mean, like in this context, it's negative, because I feel like maddest is that.
Oh, actually, yeah.
Oh, the baddest part. Oh, I think the baddest part is like the imposter syndrome and the personal side of running a business. Like the tax is just tax. Like it's quite black and white. You've got to do it. If you don't do it, then you get in trouble. Like, and I don't want to get in trouble, which we've established. But yeah, it's the imposter syndrome side of things. And like, I don't want to jump ahead or anything, but like, I've just been nominated for something very exciting. Well, my company has been, and it's even like kind of embarrassing to say this, but when I first got the email to say, hey, you're a finalist for Best Marketing Company of the Year in Australia, like what? I thought I probably spent 40 minutes working out if it was a fake candy. I know. And that's sort of like something I'm working on, like acknowledging and like deeply understanding, like, well, one, it was a very real email. I'm flying to Sydney, like it's so real. And that like, no, you actually like, this is your arena. Like you are on the same stage as these other people. And it doesn't matter that you're like half some of their ages, like it's what you built, it's your journey. And getting over those little hurdles, that's the baddest part.
In a mean girl, we know her well, and we thank her for her contribution in our brains, and we tell her to fuck off.
Mine is a like full-on bitch.
Full Regina George from Mean Girls.
Like times 100.
So what is the maddest part of running a business? So this is that, what did you call it?
Bad girl Riri.
Bad girl Riri. What is the bad girl Riri part?
I was just going to ask that because I don't know. I just heard it.
Yeah, I'm the same. I literally have just heard it on, like, people use it as like an adjective, and I've just taken it up and I have no idea of the context. I blame social media.
I think it's Rihanna.
Yeah, no, I think
that
so.
makes sense to me. I assume that's what it was when you guys, I haven't heard it. Is it because I'm the oldest in the room? I feel attacked.
Yes.
Your grey hairs are showing, Hayleigh.
Tell us, girlfriend, what's the maddest part of running a business?
I think the fact that I run a business.
Right?
like just that. Like it's like so it's so mad. And especially because of my like non-want to be a business owner, like accidental business owner, like status it's so cool that like I can wake up and do stuff that I love for clients that I love. And I'm not gonna lie, actually, like being able to like get the coolest like camera equipment for the business and like all of these like really like nerdy things that I just die over, but it's for work and it's just like, and I love it. Every time I get an Amazon package, because I get a lot of my like camera gear and stuff from Amazon from the US, and every time a package arrives, I'm like, I never could have done that. Like I never could have been able to get that for myself 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And now I'm like, I've just moved house, but my old postie definitely thought I was crazy because we got to be on a first name basis with Hey Frank. Thank you.
Shout out to Frank.
Thank you, Frank. Oh, you're a legend.
I think that too, just like on that, like I work out of like a townhouse and I'm in the bottom room where like everyone walking past can see me because I always have my windows open, and my postie is the same because if he like strategically like goes past the window now to like park his bike and like deliver packages, because if he doesn't, my dog will go off her like rocket barking at him. But he's the same. I was like, I wonder what he thinks I do, because every time he goes past, I'm just like either spinning in my chair on my phone or like occasionally typing. I work.
And like the size of my packages is the thing that makes me laugh because most of them are giant. Most of them are like massive boxes of books or like tripods or lighting gear, but it goes from one extreme to the next, because then the next day I'll just be ordering like an SD card. And it's like the tiniest little thing. So that guy's probably pretty confused about what I do.
Let him imagine. Imagine the worst, imagine the best. Amazing. Alrighty. So to end every episode, or at least this is what we're hoping we're going to continue doing after the first guest episode, we want to give you the chance to shamelessly plug whatever the fuck you want. So tell us what's going on. Tell us what you want our listeners to do or buy, or shamelessly plug something. We're all ears.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Well, I touched on it slightly earlier, but
yes, tell us all about it.
I can't believe it. Vizual has been nominated and got through to like finalist round for
amazing
Best Marketing Company of the Year. So the company that puts it on is called the Australian Women's Small Business Champions. How good is
girlfriend? That's amazing.
Thank you. It is. This is the email that I thought was fake.
I would have been the same. I'd be like, I nominated myself, but is this real? Like, what?
Yeah. Where did this like, how did they find my email? But so that is coming up. The award night is on the 12th of November. Yeah. So what is that, like 2 weeks from when we're filming this? And it's just, I just can't believe it. It's so exciting. My parents are flying down to Sydney with me. My fiance is flying down to Sydney with me. It's exciting. And you know what? It's not even it's not like a voting system. There's like a panel of judges. It's like official, which is like extra exciting. But I think getting over my imposter syndrome, I am so proud that like, I don't even know what this is. I'm so proud that like that's happened and that I am a finalist and that like Vizual is kind of like on the map a little bit in that sense that like we're like going to be, we're up against like 28 other like genuine marketing companies. Like
girlfriend,
that you are
also there is someone else in that number of 28 going, oh my God, this Vizual, like they're up and coming. Like how great are they? Like they're thinking the exact same thing about you. So like,
if not all 27 other people are going to be like, look at, everyone else. I don't belong to be here. So you absolutely belong. Like you absolutely deserve to be there.
Thank you. And I just can't believe it. I've got a gorgeous dress and both of you, I think I'm going like off my brand, which is so random. I am like, if your listeners don't know, my brand colors are navy blue and like a mint green and white. Everything is branded. I just love those colors so much. Typically I would wear a navy dress and just be like full on brand. I'm going emerald green.
Yeah, you are.
I'm doing it.
Oh my God. I cannot wait to see photos.
It's going to make your like eyes pop because they're like a nice greeny hazel. Is that right? I'm being a stalker now, I think.
they're blue, but whenever I wear green, it picks up.
I was wrong. Yeah. They'll still look amazing.
I thought you're like, I'm the biggest stalker. Your eyes are green and Liv's just like, no, they're actually blue, but thanks for trying.
Thanks for creeping me out. No, every time I wear green, my mum says, oh my God, green is like, it's so weird how it picks up the green in your eyes. My dad has green eyes and everybody else has blue eyes. So I've got quite a good like mixture of both.
Yeah, beautiful.
In case anyone wanted to know, I've got blue eyes.
They definitely
got blue eyes and you're a finalist, and November 12th, come at us.
I'll do like lots of stories and stuff when I'm there. And then if I win, I'll probably pass away because I'll just be too excited. Could you imagine if I won? Oh my God.
You could though.
I know. That just seems so bizarre to me. My mum keeps saying to me, you got to prepare your thank you speech. I'm not going to need, I'm not going to need a thank you speech. But I think that'll be true to me. If I don't prepare, I'll win and I'll get up and be like
shaking.
Everybody, what the fuck do I say?
I'm just going to channel I've already forgotten it. I'm so older generation now for a second.
What is it?
Bad Ree? What was it?
Bad girl Riri.
Obviously, I feel like that's a little bit of like that inner mean girl saying, oh, I'm not going to win, so there's no point. I think 100% you should write it regardless, because that is such a beautiful thing to reflect on.
Yeah.
Next time you get nominated in like 5 years' time, like just a reflection on how far you've come in your business.
And also just to manifest it.
Yeah.
Like to put something in writing that really physically acknowledges, I have a chance here. Like I am one of 28, 29 finalists. I have a chance. And this thank you speech says that. Like even just
Yeah.
that's hugely powerful. So I recommend it. But also you
Okay, I will.
love your business.
I'm going to write it and send it to you.
Oh my God,
Yes.
yes.
We want to
I'll
read
do
it.
it.
Yeah, amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on and being our first guest. We have had so much fun chatting to you.
Yeah, such an amazing
Thank
chat.
you. I loved it. I haven't laughed so hard in ages.
That is what we like to hear. So good luck with your award, and we will absolutely be cheering you on from Melbourne.
Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.
And that's all we've got time for, ladies. Thank you so much for joining us on another wild ride of business ownership. And we're hoping you're feeling a little less alone.
And if you want to keep the good vibes rolling, come join the crew on Instagram and TikTok at Girls Gotta Work Podcast. And don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts.
See you next time.
Bye.